Back to the 3-minute Devar. Thank you so much for joining me again as we talk about this week's portion, which is Parshat Korach. Korach is a portion which talks about a man called Korach who challenged Moses' leadership of the Jewish people. Until now, the Jewish people had given Moses various different problems and various different challenges. They were complaining there wasn't enough food, they were complaining they didn't have enough water, they were complaining they wanted to go back to Egypt, all sorts of different complaints. We had the spies who came to Israel and came back with a negative report, and the Jewish people were moaning about that too. But this is the first time that Moses' leadership itself gets challenged. And Korach comes along with his followers and says to Moses, "How dare you take leadership when it could be given to someone else who is better than you?" And as the story goes, God tells Moses to do certain things which will prove that Moses is the leader, and a big miracle happens, and Korach and his followers get swallowed up by the earth. The rabbis in Pirkei Avot, in Ethics of the Fathers, teach us that there is a big difference between a machlokas which is l'shem shamayim, which is for the sake of heaven, and an argument, a debate, which is not for the sake of heaven. And they say that a machloket, an argument, dispute, debate, which is l'shem shamayim, which is for the sake of heaven, is like Hillel and Shammai. Hillel and Shammai were two great rabbis who argued, but when they argued, they had the utmost respect for one another. And the rabbis say that a machloket, an argument, a debate, which is not for the sake of heaven, is like Korach v'adato, like Korach and his followers. What's strange about this Mishnah is it seems to miss something out. It tells us about the argument of Hillel and Shammai, two sides of the argument, the Hillel side and the Shammai side, and then it talks about the argument of Korach v'adato, Korach and his followers. Korach and his followers were on the same side of the argument. The Mishnah seems to leave out who was arguing on the other side. The commentators explain what the Mishnah is really trying to tell us is that an argument for the sake of heaven is one in which there are two sides. You may have a very strong opinion about something, but you're not interested in being right. You're not interested in you being proven right. You want to know what the truth is, and therefore you are equally interested in what the other party has to say. You want to know what they have to say. There are two sides, equally important sides. When an argument is not for the sake of heaven, when an argument is not for truth, when the argument is just to prove that you are right, and you're not interested in what the other side has to say, then there is only one side. There is only Korach and his followers. Korach was interested not in what was best for the Jewish people, not what he thought was best for everyone, but what was best for himself. He wanted to be the leader because he wanted the power, he wanted the control. And therefore, as far as he was concerned, there was no other side to the debate. He was right before he even began. How often in life do we have arguments and debates and issues with various people? And what we're focused on is getting to what's really true and really right. More often than not, we are focused on proving that we are right without listening to what the other side has to say. And the message that the rabbis are telling us in Pirkei Avot is that a true debate, which is going to bring people to good places and bring people to understandings, is one in which you recognize that the other side matters, that the other side maybe does know something that you don't know. And when we have healthy debates and arguments like that, then truth will always prevail. And even if you are wrong, you will deeply appreciate that experience. Wishing you a Shabbat Shalom.